Howdy folks, TJ here. Happy Speccy Next Year. Hopefully people got my little sentence on the top. Happy Speccy Next Year. Because it's next year, we're wishing for great things, 2023. This video is kind of to close out 2022. My thoughts on the whole Speccy Next scene. Also a reading of the Merry Christmas Kickstarter update. And what I hope for 2023 to come our way. So with no further ado, how was 2022 for you? For me, it was, for the Speccy world, it was pretty dang good. There was lots of new games and creations and stuff happening. You know, this is not like Apple where you have tons of new products and everything coming out every year. This is a small scene, relatively small, but huge in a way because at some point there's going to be like 10,000 Speccy Nexts out there. But overall, the scene seems to be vibrant, alive, people doing things. A Next ZX OS update, an official one that was not beta, but for everybody to download, and I still need to do it. I'm a little lame when it comes to that. We'll explain that later. But yeah, overall, I think 2022 was a pretty dang good year. Other than the sad part that many of you this last summer would have had a Speccy Next for the first time, maybe a second one, third one, whatever it is. Unfortunately, with the whole world being in chaos, we'll just call it that, unfortunately the Next didn't come out because of parts issues and such. So a little bit of a downer there. If you don't have a Speccy Next, I can understand, oh man, you were so hopped up for one and it didn't come. But yet, the folks are doing the best they can with what they have, and so it was pushed off to 2023, quarter 3. I'm calling it late summer. So yeah, a little bit of a downer, but still lots of activity, lots of vibrant stuff going on. People posting updated games, basic games, other games, applications, you name it, lots of stuff going on. If you keep your eye on it, you'll see that there's a lot of activity. If all you look for is big bloopers, big announcements, you may be sad because you're not looking for all the little things that come along the way that make for a great platform. So yeah, 2022, not bad. I had hoped that I would have found my mojo to get back into the spirit of programming again, but my mojo switched to other things, other hobbies, fly fishing, you name it. There's other things that TJ does, and I just don't have the mindset right now to do any programming. It takes, when I do something, it takes all my brain cells to do it. It's not just like, you know, some people can say, oh yeah, do this, do that, and they have it in their heads. Me, I have to sit there, read, do, test, do, fail, come back. You know, with programming and math and stuff like that, it's not easy for me. So to just make my Invasion of the Cloud People game for the next 3/4 of the way done, whatever you want to call it took a lot. And I'm just not in the mode to continue on with it for now. Maybe 2023, when these Kickstarter 2s come out, I will be. We'll see. Until then, let's say, okay, 2022, how was it for you? Post down below. For me, overall, pretty good. I should say that I did one special thing with the Speccy Next. I went to a yearly event called AmiWest. It's an Amiga Commodore show event in Sacramento, and they have tables there where people put out lots of Commodore and stuff like that. But there's a few people like me, and I'm among friends, so it's not like I was being thrown into a wolf's den. Although some of my Amiga friends are kind of like wolves. I brought my Speccy Next because a few of my friends said, hey, bring your Speccy Next, put it on a table, I want to check it out. So I brought my Next and a monitor and also my Omni laptop and had a little Spectrum table, which was quite fun. It was the first time I've ever done anything like that, and I think it was overall well received. I had a few people while I was away from that table come over, sit down, play my game. I had my Invasion of the Cloud People games running, the Speccy Next, the Next Storm version on my Next, and on the Omni laptop I had my older Speccy 48K version. And people would go over there, play it. And that was a fun experience. So I did that, and that's the first time I've ever done that. So that's the closest I've come to a Speccy convention, party of one. Unlike you guys that had Crash, big show, and there's a lot that's, again, if you watch the scene, you'll see that there was a number of shows that had speckiness going on overseas, like that big Crash show. So yeah, you guys should be tickled pink about that. So 2022 has come to an end, almost. It's the end last week here. Let's read the Christmas update together, and then I'll procrastinate. No, not what's Nostradamus do? He looks to the future. I'll look to the future for 2023. But let's read, not verbatim again. I always use that word, verbatim. That was a floppy disk company, wasn't it? Verbatim, data storage device. Merry Christmas 2022 update from Henrique. Update brought to you by Mike Calderwater. Damn it! Mike, by the way, happy birthday, belated birthday. Your birthday was a few days ago. Mike Cadwallader. I think that's right. A bit by Henrique. So two of them. It's Christmas. Time to be merry. Stuff yourself with mince pies. Not something we do in the United States. We might have... yeah, mincemeat pie. Nothing my family did, but yeah, that was something over here. Check what's under. I almost read that as check your undies. See if you shat in them, because some of us... I said shat! Shat. Is shat a good word? What's under the Christmas tree? And, of course, get a special update about the ZX Spectrum Next. I got a cough. Oh, that felt good. But before we go into the sweet stuff, the all-important shipping date reminder, we are still aiming at Q3 23 for shipping your computer. That said, we've got some good news. Oh, I haven't read this yet, so I'm going to be excited as you are or as depressed, whichever. Some good news, it says, on the front below. So jump into the next Christmas sled, and... parts delivery looking better for next year. It comes right out of the chute. It's well known by our backers that the shipments of electronic parts worldwide have been under severe strain and delays, affecting everything from microwaves to blah, blah, blah. Supply starting to ease and availability chips improving on most fronts. As a reminder, we've got all the parts already bought and in storage, with the notable exception of the Arctic 7 FPGA, the very heart of the Spectrum Next. The Arctic 7 is what dictates the shipping date, originally slated for Q3 23. It's now quite likely we will be able to ship earlier. Merry Christmas! We just bought we just don't know yet exactly when, but we'll keep you posted on this front fairly soon. So a little teaser. Maybe summer 2023 instead of Q3, even though Q3 is at the tail end of summer, maybe early summer. I don't know. That's good news, right? Okay, right into the next stuff. Nexter issue 3. I still need to get issue number 2. Again, lots of shit happening, lots of stuff happening in the Speccy world if you pay attention and join. If you sit at the corner of a party room and wait for somebody to come ask you to dance, you're going to be bored. You need to get out there, be frivolous, and invite yourself into discussions and chat with people and have fun. Anyway, Nexter issue 3 is out, getting you in the Christmas spirit. It looks like it's got a Tetris-y, I'm not going to show the pictures, but a Tetris-y looking game, but with ornaments. What did you guys call them? Bobs? I played a video game recently, a Speccy Bobs. B-A-U-B-S. Bobs, blobs. It's Christmas ornaments, balls. So Nexter issue 3 is out. You can go to and it has the link, the sunbeam.itch.io/Nexter. So go grab that. Tengu. So Tengu is kind of a cool, it's a, I believe, Japanese, technically, devilish, impy creature. And there's a number of companies, in fact, one of the tools that I use in my shop, Teng Tools, T-E-N-G, their mascot is a Tengu. And I've got a big banner that has the Tengu on it. But anyway, this is not that Tengu. This Tengu is a new game, the latest game from Cavern Games, who previously brought you the motorbike racing game, Bikers, which I don't own. I should, and let's go off on a tangent. Again, this is a video. It's a chat about olden days and newer coming. Anyway, one of my goals was to buy every single hard copy game out for the Next, but that never worked out. Buying every single game ends up being a pocket drainer, and I just don't have the cash to do it all. But this was one of the games I definitely wanted to get, the Bikers game, never did. But there's now a new game added to it. It's called Tengu. Cursed by the supernatural Tengu, your only means to escape is to complete the 100 fiendish puzzles that have been set by a mythical creature. So this is kind of a puzzly type of game. Looks interesting. It's for the Speccy Next. So go grab it if you can. It looks like you can buy physical and digital downloads. So cool. So there's a link to that in the next Kickstarter update. My eyes are getting really itchy. Allergies as normal. Oh, this right one feels like there's sand being thrown in it. But I'll persevere. I'll get through this video. Crash Live 2022. So there's a big picture, and there's a cool looking banner and poster for that event. This was a unique event, and some say it was the best retro computer event that they have attended in a long time. So just thinking of events like the AmiWest show that I just attended, they had it during the COVID years, but it was strictly a virtual thing. Other than a few club members and a few people that actually could fly in, went to Sacramento. It was kind of a toned down show, but they diversified and did it all virtually with videos and such. So they kept AmiWest going during that hard time. But this last year's event, that was just in October, was pretty awesome. It actually, a lot of people showed up. The biggest AmiWest that I've been to since probably 2010-ish. When the Amiga scene seemed to be getting hopping again. So yeah, it was a really fun event. Anyway, this event looks to be huge. They set some great representation of the Spectrum Next team, and it looks like a whole bunch of there's some team members that have never met face-to-face before, it looks like. I read that someplace. Despite rail strikes happening, they figured it out, and they had a kick-ass event. Some big names here: Tim Gilberts, David Safier, Lyndon J. Sharp, Matt Davies, Phoebus Dokos, Henrique Olivers, and Mike Cadwell. He's not going to like me anymore because I can't say his name. It's just one of those things. I said it probably right. Cadwallader. There you go. Life in Kickstarter projects can be strange. Mike, so Mike's writing this, I guess, had never met Lyndon, Matt, or Phoebus since starting on the Spectrum Next back in 2017. It's been a long time. We've all grown a few years older, and some rounder, some less rounder. So that's cool. They had some face-to-face. Enrique had never met anyone in person except for Mike. So he's met so that's pretty interesting. This whole world is a modular world. In fact, the company I work for, we've got employees spread throughout the United States, and I think some in some other countries too. I've lost track. But very you can do pretty much everything from your home these days. So interesting world that we live in. But anyway, the event looks to have went wonderful. There's a lot of names and a lot of stuff happening here. There's a picture of Henrique using looks like a Cambridge Z88. And I had to read it. I was going to say that. And it shows a picture of him, and then there's a Next there. I'm not going to show these pictures. If you're in the Next Kickstarter, you've probably read all this. This is just my 2 cents worth. Then there's a big picture of all these awesome people that are involved in Next. We'll just let that phone ring. So anyway, a lot of cool people in the mix here. It shows a picture of a whole bunch of cool people that are part of the Spectrum world, Speccy Next world. And I'll continue down. This whole chapter is a really long one. So this is very cool. So glad you guys had all a great event. It looks like then it leads to some videos. There's a video of some Crash Live. The event, there's a whole video, watch on YouTube, so go check it out. Include new Spectrum Next game. TX 1525? I have a hard time reading that. But anyway, it shows some more. This whole chapter is a lot about the Crash event. Here's Tim holding a beer with Henrique and it looks like probably Matt. All friends I have on Facebook that can call friends now, virtual friends from far away. So that's cool. So that whole chapter, I'm not going to read everything like I said, but needless to say, Crash 2022 event was kick-ass. Richard Scherzman's Next Guides. There is a whole chapter about Richard's launcher that he's popular for. He has a whole launching program that launches various Next applications. Kind of like not a desktop replacement, but it's an enhancement to your Next that does all these fun things. And it looks like some of it's music related. Has been promoting the Spectrum Next Guide, GDE, format over the past few years or months. It is an ideal format for documentation to be viewed directly on the Next itself. So this chapter is covering the GDE. Very cool. Links to his Google Drive and such. Game info database. Big long chapter. Again, I'm not going to read it verbatim, but there's a good chapter on Richard's hard work on this GDE format. What's next? ZX Retro Wireless. Another Richard Scherzman's. Again, I'm not pronouncing it right, but that's okay. He's got a hardware device. It's a Bluetooth device which enables wireless loading of software on the Spectrum Next and compatible system. It comes in the form of a cassette, but looks can be deceiving. It will accept audio from the likes of a laptop, tablet, or mobile phone using apps such as Play ZX and ZX Tape Player. So this whole chapter talks about where you can inquire about this device. And it looks like a cassette, so it's kind of a cool looking device. Very cool. What's next? ZXSpectrum, which I do not use, by the way, but is up to version 2.17.0. That's been released, so there's a whole link. So if you don't own a Next, but want to explore the Next and program for the Next, you can use ZXSpect on your computer of choice, pretty much. I think this is both Windows, and I think you can run it on Mac. I think I tried it on the Mac a number of years ago, couldn't get it to work, so I moved on, but I own a Next, so anyway. So very cool. A lot of people enjoy and use ZXSpect. So new version available. Crystal Designs, which I've seen this, and if I do get my mojo for my Invasion of the Cloud People, the Next Storm again, I will explore this because this Crystal Designs is a suite that lets you make your sprites and your fonts and palettes and all sorts of things, tiles for your game. It's a GUI that lets you easily create this. It looks like a phenomenal application, and it's even more powerful now. It's up to version 1.04. I will explore this at some point when I get my mojo back. My mojo right now to use and enjoy my Next is very high. My mojo to program and use my brain cells to make stuff for the Next is kind of low right now. So it is what it is. Okay. Looks like they squashed some bugs and improvements and so on. So check out that. There's a link to Lee's website in the next Kickstarter update. Tiles. What's this? TILEZ. There was much background information given for this one. There wasn't. It was posted on the Spectrum Next forum earlier this month by Moon Trekker. It's a Scrabble-like game and can be downloaded at moontrekker.itch.io/tiles. So it looks like there is a game called Tiles that you can grab for the Next. Again, unless you're daily checking out the Spec Next website and forums and groups and all this, you may not know that this existed. Well, he's being nice here to let folks know about this game. Trainyard Express. Well, that looks cool. From David Programma comes Trainyard Express. It's originally designed and developed by Matt Ricks and published in 2010 for the iPhone and Android platforms. It looks like this puzzle-solving game is now available for the Next, it looks like. Red trains, all sorts of colored trains. Yeah. It's going to be for the Next. I'm trying to read here. There's a link to his itch.io account. So it looks like you can grab that. Very cool. And I like trains. The Lost Temples, Wonder Boy vibe. So it looks like this game, The Lost Temple, it does have a little bit of a Wonder Boy vibe to it. Teased earlier this year, The Lost Temples is a side-scrolling game. It looks like there's a new video which talks about it, and the backers of the Shovel Adventure Kickstarter campaign can save shipping costs on physical version of this upcoming title. So it chats about this still to be upcoming title, The Lost Temples. And this is now, we're wrapping up 2022. This is going to be a long video, by the way. Setbacks, victories, challenges, looking forward to advancing the project, and to the final stages leading to finally shipping your eagerly awaited computer. Here's to a lovely Christmas with those that make your life sweeter, a new year filled with warm feelings, and see you on the other side with a lot more Spectrum Next goodness. So, that was their update. My 2023 wishes that the computer appears. The Next may come out a little earlier. Let's hope for a late spring, early summer release. Wouldn't that be awesome? I'm excited to get mine. I plunked down my hard-earned money for a second Next. Love my first one, want a second one. The second one does take care of a few issues that the first one may have experienced. So that is cool. So what I'll more than likely do is switch to using the newer one, put the older one in a box, store it away a little bit, bring it out every once in a while, play a few games on it, keep it alive, per se. And so that's my biggest dream, 2023, that we can all get our Speccy Nexts. Another dream is that maybe after they ship it and all looks good, that there's still enough excitement around it to have a Kickstarter 3. What would come with a Kickstarter 3? I still want to find out how I could buy my dust cover. Dust cover, that would completely, I want to know how to buy that. I want to get my Spectrum Next dust cover. Get my mojo back in terms of programming. My mojo is not lost on excitement for the platform, but for programming it is right now. I keep saying that. I want to get excited about it again, but again, it takes too many brain cells to do it. 2023... just all around health, happiness, get out of this whole vaccine thing and kind of just get back in the swing of just getting up every day, enjoying life. Hopefully we don't have too many icky things that happen in 2023. I want to get some other goodies in 2023, but we'll leave that to a different video. This is all about the Spectrum Next. So Kickstarter, maybe number 3 would be a cool end of year. Maybe if they ship them all in the summer, maybe at the end of the year they'll say, oh, by the way, we're going to do another 3 version, and it's going to be a whole new ball of wax. A Kickstarter 2. No, not Kickstarter 2, a Next 2. I'm just dreaming here. But anyway, I'm plenty happy with what we have. And so anyway, anything else? No, I'm sure I'll think of something after I turn off the camera. This is a long enough video. Hopefully you all had a good 2022, a wonderful 2023 to you. I'll do my best to continue making videos like this and being excited for the platform. Until 2024 comes, have a wonderful 2023. Be safe, be happy. Bye.